Well, 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 what a scorcher today's been. Perfect for a spot of cricket if I do say so myself. I should have been bowling 3 wides and over, Metty top edging to mid-wicket, Ollie Andrew arguing to himself, and Harry Moore prepping the pool table. But whilst the leftover T wilts, umpires loiter, the bar fills, and Liam Wright holds fine court, whilst the San Nigels flow, it's time for the current highlight of the week. Back once again to keep everyone sane in these most uncertain times, the BSF boys have been prepping tirelessly. So sit back, relax, and get ready to play the Mottram CC live and virtual quiz. Go well.
Good evening, folks. Very enjoyable. And very nice to see a lot of the guys that are playing along at home on the intro reel there. Was slightly concerned by some of the photographs from Jed and Cheb. I do wonder whether I'm going to have to sort of send on the Samaritans hotline just in case. But there we go, folks. Good evening, everyone. Nice to see everybody joining in again this week, as per usual, as we have done in every week so far. Start with a toast to good health. It's good to see that everybody's not had any worrying concerns midweek or worrying reports. So good to see that everybody's back in good health. And this is to continue good health of everybody playing along and your families at home. So cheers. Now you will notice, folks, that this week we're sort of off your standard shelf brands that you can find or procure from your local Tesco / Morrison's. Other supermarkets are available. But it's been kindly donated. The drink has been kindly donated this week from a gentleman called Ignacio, aka Joe. I think Joe is his real name, who is the owner of Beartown Brewery. So the drinks tonight coming sponsored from Beartown Brewery, local brewery over in Congleton, supplies a number of pubs around Stockport and the wider areas. Just hold it up to the screen here. Which way am I going? So Beartown Brewery. It's an IPA, this. The Vojtek. Could be anything. Wojtek, I think. I've got a Kahuna here also for later on. That's super pale with a hint of passion fruit. Lovely stuff. The Wojtek offering citrus fruits and juniper berry. So very, a massive thanks to Joe for doing that. And I would encourage, if anyone's looking for something that's not quite procurable in the local supermarket, then please do head over to the guys at Beartown. They've got a website. You'll be able to access that through Google and treat yourself to something special. It really is a lovely tipple. So cheers, Joe. Thank you very much for that. So that's our friends at Beartown. Before we kick off tonight, folks, with our 5th virtual quiz, it isn't lost on me, especially after Who Wants to Be a Millionaire last week, that some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes in my back end is nothing short of sensational. And so I just wanted, before we kick off tonight, just to help some of you who don't know Steve and Beachy, put a face to the name. We're just going to bring them out. Steve and Beachy, do you want to come out? Here they are, folks. So we've got myself here live from the Venetian Cafe. We've got who's over here. So this, sorry, you've got to do this back to front. So this is Beachy live from the cemetery in G Cross. Beachy, a lovely advert there for Schwarzkopf and everything that can do for your hair. Over on this side, we've got Steve, who's live from the BSF Television Centre. He is a stunning advert for the Belgravia Centre. And I must say that since we've gone into isolation, that hairline does appear to have got slightly better. So I am a little bit dubious. I feel as though there's some sort of product there, perhaps been hanging around with Paddy McGuinness, as his hair growth in recent times has been nothing short of sensational. So there they are, folks. Wave along, Mike and Steve. And I think, to be fair, guys, it probably does just demonstrate why I'm at the front end and these two are sat in the back. So There you go, folks. See you later, chaps. And Steve, nice that you got the audio sorted this week, mate. That's very good. So, all right. Same format as last week, folks. 2 rounds of general knowledge, followed by the sort of the pick and mix stuff. And then we are going to go with Millionaire again this evening after the break. Steve, do you want to get it? I think most people have played before, so we'll just try and skip through this quite quickly. But for anyone who's not played before, we'll just quickly show you how you just need to access your answer sheets. Steve, you want to get up the Google. So you literally, if you're not played before, you just need to access our club website, and it's pretty self-explanatory from there. But as Steve will show you, go on the club website, and everything's here. You just need to register. Team registration can be done through there. And then before each of the respective rounds, you just want to open up the sheet for each respective round, complete and submit once all answers are complete at the end of the round. As with last week, once we get to the end of the second round, we'll give people sort of 5 minutes whilst the break's going on, just to sort of clean up and submit their answers. And then we will just have another explanation before we get kicking with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Appreciate there's a little bit more admin involved there, so we will walk you through that. But Beachy in the back end, are we ready? I think we should be. The answer sheet is live, isn't it? We've had that drama before. So as per usual, folks, feel free to contribute via Facebook, whatever it is, with comments, etc. And I shall try and field the abuse as best I can. What's that? Sorry, Steve. Can't hear you, Steve. So I'm going to crack on regardless. Okay, folks. Round 1, general knowledge. First question on tonight's quiz is: which Italian company are well known for manufacturing children's sticker books? Now, to be clear here, I'm referring to the company who have held the rights to the World Cup sticker book, I think, since these things started. So, number 1 on tonight's quiz, nice and easy. Let's ease you in gently. Which Italian company are well known for manufacturing children's sticker books? That's fine, Steve. Lovely stuff. You were a little bit echoey for a while there. A little bit echoey, but you're fine there. Okay. Question number 2. Let's go with 2. Before the Duke of York renamed it, what was New York called? So is it New Rome, New Paris, or New Amsterdam? So that's question 2. Before the Duke of York renamed it, what was New York called? New Rome, New Paris, or New Amsterdam? Some kind comments there in the back end from Glossop Rugby Club. That's very kind, chaps. I did tune in last night, and for anybody who was playing along in the Glossop Rugby Club quiz, you're going to enjoy question 18 in the general knowledge, because I think you had that one last night. Yeah, there is a limited pool, and I do try and come up with this most myself, but sometimes the internet has to provide a little bit of assistance. Okay, question 3, folks. Another area. Which country is the world's largest coffee producer? That's question 3. Which country is the world's largest coffee producer? And the answer to that is not. It's not a new revelation. It's been that way for a long time. So which country, number 3, is the world's largest coffee producer? Okay. That was 3. Question 4, folks. Question 4. Meteorology is the study of what? So that's question 4. Meteorology is the study of what? Some of you at home may notice that the general knowledge, and particularly the pick and mix round, I think is slightly kinder this week. Don't get lured into a false sense of security, because Millionaire is tough. God almighty. How anybody won any form of money on that, I don't know. So that was question 4. Meteorology is the study of what? And 5. What is the highest score that can be achieved with a single arrow in archery? So just, I suppose, to be clear, if you want that another way, putting that another way, we're looking for how much you get for slamming one of those arrows in the center gold disc. So that's question 5. What is the highest score that can be achieved with a single arrow in archery? Do I need to pause in the back end, chaps? Okay, no problem. Okay. Question 6, folks. Question 6. By what name is rapper Sean Combs better known? So that's question 6. By what name is rapper Sean Combs better known? I will accept that there are a number of possible sort of rappy nicknames there. I'm not going to be too prescriptive. Yeah, we'll look at any will do, whichever you've done with. So that was question 6. By what name is rapper Sean Combs better known? Okay, fairly straightforward for anybody born post 80s, I think. Question 7. Which mammal does not have any vocal cords? That's 7. Which mammal does not have any vocal cords? The giraffe, a hippo, sloth, aka Jordan Irons, or a hyena? So that is number 7. Which mammal does not have any vocal cords? A giraffe. Sorry, it's not millionaire yet. A giraffe, a hippo, a sloth, or a hyena. I'm getting a little bit of stick about the pronunciation there. Sloth, sloth. As broad as it is long, as far as I'm concerned. Sloth, sloth, Jordan Irons. It all goes together nicely. Okay, moving on to question number 8. Politics on the card here. Only political question tonight, don't worry. Who is the Prime Minister of New Zealand? So that's question number 8. Who is the Prime Minister of New Zealand? I'll come to Dad in a moment, but just on the politics, one of my favourite facts of the week was delivered just today, actually, by the Right Honourable Home Secretary Priti Patel, who informed us rather triumphantly that that the rate of shoplifting has declined substantially in the last month. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Closing all the shops has resulted in a fall in shoplifting cases. Well done, Priti. Lovely stuff. Well, lovely stuff. So that was number 8. Sorry, I digress. Who is the Prime Minister of New Zealand? 9. In the television series Friends, what instrument does Phoebe Buffay play? One of my favourite hits, of course, being Smelly Cat. There are a number of parallels between myself and a smelly cat. So yes, do like that. So number 9, in the television series Friends, what instrument does Phoebe Buffay play? Just to come back to James Dadger's query as to what is my favourite mammal, I would probably actually go with a hippo. They really do live the life of Riley, don't they? They're swimming around and bathing in a pool of their own mess. Lovely stuff. Cheers, Ignacio. Lovely stuff. And it really is a top drop, folks. I really am going to give this the heavy plug tonight. Not only because it's free, but because it does taste wonderfully as well. Okay, 10, folks. The Sand People. Very straightforward. These are fictional creatures from which movies? The Sand People are fictional creatures from which movies? The Sand People, of course, fictional on the big screen, but perhaps reality once you get to dug holes. So the Sand People are fictional creatures from which movies? So what's the question, sorry, on... so basically, I'm looking for how many points are awarded. On the archery question, this is, folks, in the Olympics, if you slam one in the centre, how many points are you getting, essentially? Okay, 11. Barbara Millicent Roberts is the name. A children's toy better known as what? So Barbara Millicent Roberts is the name of a children's toy better known as what? think that you had a top collection of those in your childhood, Beachy. Let's believe. Happy to disclose that they aren't Moomins. You wouldn't have to have a collection of those. You've got a family of them to look at. Okay, that was 11. So on to 12. I won't do the accent here, but who said that's the great thing about Catholicism? It's so vague, and no one really knows what it's about. That probably should have been in the Christianity round of last week, shouldn't it? The last, bit of continuity, we like it. That's question 12, folks. Who said that's the great thing about Catholicism? It's so vague, and no one really knows what it's about. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you could say that about religion in general, Beachy. Again, we don't want to be getting too deep tonight, Beachy. Tend to stick away from religion and politics. We don't do those on this particular program. At 13, Captain Tom Morris went to number 1 last week, along with which West End star? So that's 13. Captain Tom Morris went to number 1 last week, along with which West End star? Brilliant track. So that was a phenomenal effort by Captain Tom. I'm sure we'll all agree. I think it's nearly 30 million quid. Is it 30 million quid, I think, that he raised? And, a number 1 to hoot. He gets slightly outshone on the single by Michael Ball, if I'm honest. But I won't give him too much of a hard time for that. Could have been a bit of a faux pas there, folks. We'll move on quickly. We will move on quickly to 14. 14, folks. 14, folks. Seamless stuff. Come on, Steve. Let's have it on. From the centre of Manchester, which is closest? Scafell Pike or Snowdon? The answer is not Switzerland, folks. So I think what we've learned there, folks, is that the Beertown Brewery stuff is pretty strong. I think it's pretty strong, and it leads one astray rather quickly. Absolutely wonderful. What an idiot. What an idiot. Lovely. So that was 14 from the centre of Manchester. Sorry, from the centre of Manchester, which is closest? Scafell Pike or Snowdon? I am aware that there was a slight issue. Perhaps with coming live. So I will run through the first 4 questions before we move on to round 2. At 15, another sport one. This one's been on Netflix recently. So how many NBA titles did Michael Jordan win whilst playing for the Chicago Bulls? Is it 4, 5, 6, or 7? So that was 15. How many NBA titles did Michael Jordan win whilst playing for the Chicago Bulls? 4, 5, 6, or 7? No comments to be made on the potential options there. At risk of a disclosure that is we don't want to be doing. Yeah, I hope that Ignacio does appreciate the commitments that I've made to his beer there by ruining one particular answer. That's for sure. So 16, folks. Let's move on swiftly. Which country in the world has the largest coastline? And it's not even close. Which country has the largest coastline? That's for number 16. A few hellos as we go through tonight. Hello to the Danaher family who are playing along tonight. To Tom, Les. I think is Liam and his other half on as well. So hi, folks. Yeah. So hello to you guys. Hope this finds you well. Hope this finds you. Who else are we shouting out there, Steve? Oh, Cy Barrow, our friends from Tintwistle, are on too. So hello to Simon Barrow, the nicest man in the Derbyshire and Cheshire League, and potentially the Northwest. So 17, folks, 17. Let's move through. What type of garment is a Glengarry? So that's 17. What type of garment is a Glengarry? So, Steve, it's not actually that it's warm in here. Folks at home, you probably noticed that I'm a little bit scorched this week. I have had a week off work and I have spent it in the garden. Let's just say that the factor 50 hasn't been applied prior to getting out there under the UV this week. What is interesting is that just below this light here, I am really scorched. It is getting awfully hot. So yes, the sweat will be coming shortly. So let's move on, folks. 18, Profiteroles. So this is, you were watching Glossop's quiz last night, you'll know this. Profiteroles are traditionally made with what type of pastry? Yeah, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. We don't want a Captain Tom Gate again, do we? We don't want Captain Tom Gate, that's for sure. So 18, Profiteroles are traditionally made with what type of pastry? Michael's asking me, what are the chances of getting the same question on a quiz in 24 hours? Quite high, I would have thought, in these times when there's about 3 million quizzes to go at online, Beachy, and there's a limited pool of questions. 19, which band released an album called A Rush of Blood to the Head? That's 19. Which band released an album called A Rush of Blood to the Head? Okay. And should we move to 20? Your last question in round one. 9 out of 19, really, tonight, isn't it? After that little episode. So 20 tonight. Ocular Colombo. Sorry, let's get this right. Ocular Coloboma. Oh no, Coloboma. Coloboma. That sounds right, doesn't it? Ocular Coloboma is a medical condition that affects which organ? So ocular coloboma is a medical condition that affects which organ? So that's your 20 general knowledge. That's your 20 general knowledge. Should we just run through them again quickly, Steve, before we look to submit and move on to round two? The number one was, which Italian company are well known for manufacturing children's sticker books? Just to be clear, that's the company that have had the license to do the World Cup football sticker books, I think, since they originally began. Number two, before the Duke of York renamed it, what was New York called? Rome, Paris, or Amsterdam of the new variety. 3, which country is the world's largest coffee producer? 4, meteorology is the study of what? 5, what is the highest score that can be achieved with a single arrow in archery? 6, by what name is rapper Sean Combs better known? 7, which mammal does not have any vocal cords? Giraffe, a hippo, sloth, or a hyena? Jordan Irons is an acceptable answer. 8, who is the Prime Minister of New Zealand? 9, in the television series Friends, what instrument does Phoebe Buffay play? 10 was about the Sand People. What movies are they from? 11, Barbara Millicent Roberts. What children's toy is that? What's it better known as? 12, who said that's the great thing about Catholicism? It's so vague and no one really knows what it's about. 13, Tuffy 13, I think. Really, really tough this tonight. Captain Tom Morris went to number 1 last week, along with which West End star? Deary me, deary me. Okay, 14, from the centre of Manchester, which is closest? Scafell Pike or Snowdon? So point of clarification on that, is it as the crow flies or in terms of road route? Either. The answer is the same regardless. But yeah, let's go with as the crow flies for argument's sake. How many NBA titles did Michael Jordan win with the Chicago Bulls? 4, 5, 6, or 7 was 15. Which country had the longest coastline was 16. 17 was what type of garment is a Glengarry. 18 was Profiteroles are traditionally made with what type of pastry. 19, which band released an album called A Rush of Blood to the Head? And 20, Ocular Coloboma is a medical condition that affects which organ? let's lock those in, folks. Let's get everything submitted, and we can move on to round 2, which is of course the pick and mix. So I think we're waiting for 10 more, are we, Beachy? Okay. Waiting for 10 more. Let's get those in, folks. Appreciate that one of my colleagues, I think the Bate family, hello, the Bate family, playing along in Worsley. I think they're about 4 minutes behind usually because of internet speeds out in Worsley. Can't do anything about that, but Beachy, just take that into consideration out in the back end there. Oh wow! The Beatty family are already in. They're already in, folks. 15th in to submit. Very good, very good. One of those 5G masts must have gone up around Ryan Giggs' property. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, in the back end, more love for the Wodge Tech. If we can ask Ignacio for the correct pronunciation, I'm happy to plug that again. But yeah, whatever it is, it does taste lovely. Okay, Beach, are we there? Can we move on to round 2? Yeah, I think we're almost there, folks. Let's keep this moving. So you pick a mix tonight, folks. Six sort of sections as per usual. And the first in these sections, so for 5 minutes, I don't need these in any specific order, but we're looking for the last. This is your sports pick and mix tonight. We're looking for the last 5 champion golfers of the year. That's the last 5 golfers to win the Open Championship. So what sheet's now live, folks, on the website, so you should be able to access the sheet. So just probably as a point of clarification, but perhaps a little bit of a guide, I have taken on board the fact that the missing letter round won't be, and I can assure you, it won't be British sitcom characters. Wow, what a massacre that was! What a massacre that! What a mess! But here we'll offer a little bit of a guide here. So we want the 5 last champion golfers of the year and the courses that they were played on, folks, just to try and jog any memories. So in 2019, it was played at Royal Portrush. In 2018, it was played at Carnoustie. In 2017, it was played at Royal Birkdale. A good anecdote to come with that in a moment. In 2016, it was at Royal Troon, and in 2015, it was at St Andrews. Now, I did go to the Birkdale one, you know, with my brother and a former revenue colleague, and John Rahm was in a he was a work friend, and John Rahm was in a greenside bunker and played what can only be described as a shank out the bunker. To which my friend sarcastically says, "Yeah, well played, John." Lee Westwood, who's on the green, just turns to him and goes, "You." Before the watershed, folks, I'll fill in the expletive once we get past 90. Lovely stuff. Okay, so we're looking for here the 5 winners of the Open Championship. So that covers 2019 back to 2015. It's pronounced Wojtek, folks. And it is 5.5%, which may well, obviously, that may well explain the faux pas on question 13 in round 1. Okay, so we've had a few minutes now, haven't we? What do you think, Beachy? Do you reckon you'd have done that in that time, or do you reckon you'd still be racking your brains? Okay, so you can, I suppose, have a look at that as we go through the rounds, but I will move it on and move it forward to the second, which is the alternate letters round. But don't worry, folks, I think this is a bit easy this week. So we're on capital cities this week. So these are capital cities from around the world. And again, you know, I define myself as a professional. I will read these out. Let's just put the question 13 gate to one side. So 6 is A blank M blank N. 7 is N blank C blank S blank A. 8 is S blank O blank L. 9 is M blank N blank E blank I blank E blank. And 10 is L blank L blank N blank W blank. Fancy that if my sister-in-law Vicky is playing along with my brother at home, this will be right up her street as a travel agent for Kuoni, no less. So that's 6 through 10, folks. Capital cities with alternate letters missing. Yeah. So I'm being assured by Beachy, they've really cleaned up their act in the back end this week, folks. After a bit of a midweek dressing down from the manager. We've not got duplicate boxes on the answer sheets this week. I'm told, yet we don't have them yet. I am told that they are on your answer papers, so you should be able to look at those and refer to those as we go through. So just another sort of 30 seconds, sort of a minute on those. I'm just trying to decide whether I've been to any of those places. I'm being told in the back end not to say anything else, the risk of 13 gate appearing. I have done that. I think I've done that twice now in my quizzing history. So, question from Dot Moore relates to the Raphael behind me, and as to whether it's at a different angle every week. Dot, I think it's a little bit of a fiction of what I decide to balance the phone on. I think that's what distorts the angle of the photograph or painting. One thing I was thinking about, folks, from Glossop's quiz last night, is that they auctioned a towel off in order to raise some funds. So I did wonder whether just before this is all over, I could auction the Raphael off, and somebody can take ownership of this wonderful, wonderful. I think I don't even know what paint it is, to be quite honest, but it is lovely. I think it's emulsion, Dulux. But yeah, I'm not sure the bids would come flying in, so we'll wait and see. Okay, let's move forward. Go on, sorry, go on, Steve. So Cy Barrow's come in and told me that they're really hard. I'd just say to Cy, if you weren't playing last week, Cy, you won't understand just how straightforward those are in comparison. Okay, sequences, folks. Got some sequences coming up now. So let's just move forward. Okay, so this is the first sequence. So what we're looking for is what's next in the sequence. So we've got A Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, Help, Rubber Soul. What's next? And just to be clear, after the question mark in the sequence is, oh no, I won't say because it might make it easy. Okay, so 11, A Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, Help, Rubber Soul, and what came next in that sequence? If asked, I think it's fairly clear what we're doing here, so I'm happy to do this. If I was asked to name my favourite Beatles album, it would have to be The Best of the Beatles. Okay, let's move it forward, Stephen, on to number 12. We have Solskjaer, Mourinho, Van Gaal, Giggs, Moyes, Ferguson. Just topping into the next one. So going to the Kahuna now. Another 5. Oh no, this is a 4.5%. So this is a slightly more mellow drop. But alas, nice nonetheless. Okay, so that was Solskjaer, Mourinho, Van Gaal, Giggs, Moyes, Ferguson. I think that'll be fairly straightforward for most. Let's move forward to 13. So you know that this is a favourite game. I like to quiz this question. I like to quiz this particular topic a lot. Old Kent Road, Community Chest, Whitechapel Road, income tax. What's next? That's question 13. Question 13, Old Kent Road, Community Chest, Whitechapel Road, income tax. I'm playing a lot of that in isolation. I'm playing all of it. My favourite set, I would have to say, would have to be the oranges. I feel like that's the perfect balance between cost for build and remuneration on those landing venues. The oranges would have to be my favourite of the sets on a Monopoly board. Moving forward to 14, Elizabeth II, George VI, Edward VIII, George V, Edward VII, and what comes next? I will be reasonably strict here, folks. So to the extent that there is a suffix next to it in terms of whether there's some sort of numeric value after the name, that needs to be right. So that was 14, Elizabeth II, George VI, Edward VIII, George V, Edward VII. 14. Yeah, that's right, Beachy. And then 15. Conrad Hilton Jr., Michael Wilding, Mike Todd, Eddie Fisher. What is next in that list? That's Conrad Hilton Jr., Michael Wilding, Mike Todd, and Eddie Fisher. There are sequences for tonight. So what's coming next, folks? Mixing it up a little bit within the pick and mix. We do like to replicate a bit of a game show here on the MCC Virtual Quiz. So we've got Millionaire afterwards, but one of my favourites growing up, you know, by the fire, Saturday nights. I just used to love watching my mum and dad argue about the price of stupid objects on The Price is Right. A wonderful, wonderful show. So what I've done this week is I've been out, did a bit of shopping yesterday, and purchased 5 items whilst shopping. So I think Alexa's trying to tell me something over there, but I don't know what. Anyway, regardless, so there's 5 items purchased. So what I'm going to do is I've actually got them here so I can sort of present them as we go through them. But what you're going to see is there are going to be 5 prices. You're going to be given 5 prices at the bottom, and you need to essentially match the price with each of the items as we go through. So I do like this one. I do like it, but you know, I think it's reasonably straightforward. We'll start off soft this week, and maybe we'll get it a little bit tougher next week. So first item on the shopping list was this little baby. So 2 pints of semi-skimmed 1.8% fat milk from Tesco. So the shop was done at Tesco, folks, which is important. Not your high-end, not your Waitrose. Other brands are available. Not your high-end sort of your Waitrose, your Booths of the world, but also not your sort of your super discounters such as Lidl, Aldi, and Netto. But broadly, so we're sort of in the middle of the range. This is Tesco, and weirdly, as a country, we have an obsession with politicians knowing the price of a pint of milk, don't we? So thought we'd just see if we all know what 2 pints cost. That did not come. It did not come from Matt Slack's farm. I hasten to add. So there's 2 pints of milk there, not Arla milk, so it didn't come from Matt Slack. Okay, next item. So we've got 80p, £1.5, £1.80, £1.95, and £2.50. Next item, much sought after in these times of strife. Wrong side, lovely. Andrex, seamless stuff. So here we go, Andrex. So just, I think it's important that we get the quality out. This is a classic clean, and it's for a fresh and confident clean. 4 rolls in there, folks, 4 rolls. And just to be clear, one of the items was purchased on offer. I've not included the offer, so we're on RRP within Tesco. So that's Andrex on the 4 rolls there. Move that over there. Okay, next item, please, Steve. Next item in the shopping bag, a little bit of meat. Okay, so this is bacon. You're looking at 10 smoked back bacon rashers. So this is smoked bacon, 10 rashers. Not a bad quality, that I don't think, actually. But yeah, 10 rashers of bacon. So 80p, £1.5, £1.80, £1.95, or £2.54 for the bacon. Just to be clear, in the interest of full disclosure, one of our members, Alan Swan, Hair Swan, does actually work at Tesco, and in the very Tesco that I did this shop. So, Alan, I will be forwarding your result to your line manager in order to feed into your annual appraisal. Don't worry about that. Okay. Next, please, Steve. Next, please, Steve. Here it is. Here it is, folks. Staple of any kitchen, fairy liquid lemon. So this is I think it's a 780ml bottle. 780ml. Does the jobs you hate. I think I might have just mixed up some of the branding there with some of the strap lines, but no, nevertheless, fairy liquid, lemon flavour, 780ml. So what are we looking at? £81.5, £1.80, £1.95, £2.50, and finally, folks, you can almost, I'm sure you can probably get it from the Russell, the nation's favourite loaf, surely, the Warby's Toasty. The staple of any breakfast, Warburton's Toasty loaf there. There she is. So that is what we're looking at. So you need to price those items up, stick them in your shopping bag, folks. And yeah, that's our fourth pick and mix of the evening. 2 more to go before we go to a short break. Oh, just the milk and the bacon will be deposited back into the fridge during our break. Sorry, the hay fever's kicking in. The milk appears to be curdling as we speak, so that'll be going straight back in the fridge. Okay. I can assure you that the cough is not symptomatic with COVID. It is hay fever season, and I am getting my arse kicked. Okay, next we have some photographs. I think we've got some pictures for you now. Bit of nostalgia. So we had wacky races last week. Nice to see our friends from Hollingworth within those particular photos. But this week we have some children's TV characters. So first up is my favourite. This is my favourite children's TV character. Happy to say this because she isn't in, but long before the days of Peppa Pig. What a tempestuous little character that is. Just insufferable. How anybody tolerates that for any length of time is quite frankly beyond me. So that's 21. As we move on to 22, again, reasonably straight. I think this should be reasonably straightforward for most. I think the 5.5% might just be getting to my colleagues in the back end. As I have currently got character 22 impressions coming right down the airwaves. So that's 22. Okay, 23, please, Stephen. Okay, reasonably easy to narrow this down to a choice of 2, but I'm going to have to insist that we get the right one here. That's 23. Belting program, that from back in the day. They just don't make them like that anymore, do they? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Beachy stumped me by just pointing out the obvious, but there we go. We'll carry on. 24, folks. 24, folks. So again, need the first and last name here. Need the first and last name. Okay, so that's 24. We'll just move forward now. Reason for it's 25 now. Now, originally, folks, I was going to accept the first name, but having read through, I am going to insist on both names here. Beachy, did you get that in the back end? I'm going to insist on both names, first and second. That's 25. That's the real toughie, I think, because the surname could be quite tricky there. Okay, so they're your children's TV characters. Last in the segment here are some dingbats. Again, we were going to go along the lines of catchphrase. That might be one for a couple of weeks' time. But here's 26. So, in the words of Roy Walker, folks, just say what you see. It's good, but it's not the one, etc., etc. So this is 26. It's a dingbat. So yes, just to be clear, the number isn't part of the dingbat. Clearly, that's just the number of the question. Beachy, are these on the answer paper? Okay, so these are on the answer paper. So I'll feel slightly better about mercilessly moving on in a moment. That's 26 as a dingbat. Okay. At the request of Carol Harwood, it's your quiz, folks. It's your quiz, folks. We'll always try and tailor the quiz to the greatest enjoyment of our audience at home. Okay, 27. I've just realised that could be interpreted a really wrong way. Okay, 27. Let's not dwell on that. That's not the line of thinking you want to be going down, folks. So 27 now. Move through now to 28. Okay. Being told that one's very easy in the back end. Reasonably, I mean, you can get really tough. I'm pretty poor. It's pretty tough. Am I back? I'm back, folks. Don't worry. Don't panic. Don't panic. There was a mild panic in the back end there as I was cutting out, but don't worry. The technicalities are under control in the back end. So that was 28. 29, please, Steve. Okay. Okay, so that's 29. So that's 29. Not much to say there. And the final question. Have a look at 30, Steve. Let's have a look at 30. There we go. So there they are, folks. Dingbats, not my favourite at all, but I'm so poor at them. I'm hearing that there is an opening bid on the Raphael just behind me. Sorry, that side. I'm struggling with the reflection. The opening bid is 87p. So 87p for the Raphael Masterclass. So there we go, folks. We're through the second pick and mix. So just to be clear, before we go to the break, I think just the ones to touch on here. I mean, the first round we're looking for the Open Championship golfers, the winners. So these are the champion golfers of the year for the last 5 years. And just a reminder, they were played at Royal Portrush, Carnoustie, Royal Birkdale, Royal Troon, and St Andrews. Through to the second segment, which is the capital cities with alternate letters missing. They're on your answer paper, so I don't propose to labour the point there for too long at all. Just a quick view. The sequencers, we had 11, A Hard Day's Night, Beatles, Sail, Help, Rubber Soul, and then What? 12 was Solskjaer, Mourinho, Van Gaal, Giggs, Moyes, Ferguson, Then what? 13 was Old Kent Road, Community Chest, Whitechapel Road, Income Tax. Then what? 14 was Elizabeth II, George VI, Edward VIII, George V, Edward VII. Then what? And 15 was Conrad Hilton, Michael Wilding, Mike Todd, Eddie Fisher. Just a reminder that for 14, any numerical reference is required. Then just quickly on the items of shopping, we had the milk first. Then we had the toilet roll, Andrex, other providers are available. Then we had the bacon. Then we had the fairy liquid. And then we had the Warby's loaf. And we're looking at 80p, £1.5, £1.80, £1.95, and £2.50. The nostalgia, the children's TV characters, I think they're all on the sheet, aren't they, Beachy? So we'll just quickly rattle through these now. We've got Man in Bowler Hat. We've got Strange Looking Thing in mustard coloured top. I'm told in the back end from obviously the #1 fan, Michael Beach, that particular creature does have a surname. Not interested in the surname for that. 23, this gentleman. 24 and 25, surname required. And then if we can just quickly fly through the dingbats, please, Steve. 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So we're going to just nip off for a break now. We're back at 9 o'clock on the dot. If we can have all of the submissions in sort of a minute two before we get back online, then we can get cracking with the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and get through the final part of the quiz. Okay, folks, and we will go through the answers for the first 2 rounds when we get back from the break. Okay, cheers, folks. Submit. All right, folks, we're back. We're back after a little bit of a little comfort break there. Amazing news, folks. We'll bring it to you. It's been rumored for a little while, but I've just checked my phone. It appears the North Korean leader has been confirmed as dead. Yeah, not great news whenever that happens, but there we go. Bringing to the breaking news as well as the MCC virtual quiz. All right, folks, can we get should we get the papers all in and submitted? Can we get them in? How are you doing, Beach? How are we doing in the back end, Beach, for submissions? So, Beach, how are we doing generally on submissions in the back? Are we okay? We getting there? Yeah. So, folks, if you're struggling to submit, sometimes because if you've got a blank space, you just need to put something in the box. So just press a random key and get it submitted. Just whilst we're waiting for those, one of my favourite team names tonight, Benny and Tourette's. Very nice, nice play on words. And has anyone seen Righty's Toe? So for anyone who's not familiar with the club in any particular detail, Liam Wright, beloved Liam Wright, former first team captain, an all-time great. Had an accident at work, was it, Righty? Was it half a ton of steel landing on that particular foot? Lucky for the foot to survive in truth, but the big toe had to go. And that's why he has been nominated within the credits, which you should all watch again, as our head of chiropody. Okay, so how are we doing, Beach? So we need 3 more. Yeah. I'll do that now, Beachy. So Phil Mellor, another club great, has taken it upon himself within this isolation period to rummage through the stats, but also he's taken upon himself to build a bench. You may have seen this online on other clubs, made out of cricket bats. So for anyone who has got a cricket bat and can donate, we would like to sort of formalise the collection process. If you can take it up at some stage this weekend, of course, maintaining social distance. Don't want to continue to upset some of the neighbours. If you can leave it in the green bin, that'd be great. The green bins aren't being collected at current, so it will be safe and will make its way back to Phil. Okay, Beach, I'm conscious of time. I want to get cracking with the answers. So is everybody in? Otherwise, I'm just going to shut them off. Okay, so we'll go through the answers, folks, for the first couple of rounds, and then we'll knock through with the millionaire. So, general knowledge. Steve, can we have it up, please? The Italian company, well-known manufacturing children's cigarettes, Panini. 2, the Duke of York renamed New York from New Amsterdam. It was called New Amsterdam before it was renamed New York. 3, Brazil is the world's largest coffee producer, has been for over 150 years, apparently. Meteorology is the study of the weather. 5, highest score can be achieved with a single arrow in archery is 10. I'm going with 10. What name is Sean Coombs better known? Okay, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puff, Diddy, all of the above acceptable. 7, a giraffe doesn't have any vocal cords. Surprising given the size of that neck. 8, the Prime Minister of New Zealand is Jacinda Ardern. Jacinda Ardern. Phenomenal response to the coronavirus outbreak. 9, Phoebe Buffet plays Smelly Cat on a guitar. So the Sand People are from Doveholes and Star Wars. There's Star Wars for 10, the Sand People. No, I didn't give the Smelly Cat one. I just gave the title away. 13 is coming in a moment, Stephen. 11, Barbara Millicent Roberts is Barbie. Michael Beach has an extensive collection. 12, that quote, I didn't do the Irish accent. The great thing about Catholicism is so vague and no one really knows about his father, Ted. 13, you'll all be surprised to learn that Captain Tom Morris went to number 1 with a version of You'll Never Walk Alone with Michael Ball. Is it from Carousel? I don't think he was in that. Michael Ball, 13. 14, Snowdon is closer. Snowdon is closer in the centre of Manchester. Michael Jordan won 6 NBA titles whilst at the Chicago Bulls. The country with the longest coastline. I think looking at the stats, its coastline is 4 times longer than any other country in the world. Happy for you to fact check that. It's Canada. So Canada is the country with the longest coastline. A Glengarry is a cat hat. Any sort of variation on that, I suppose it'll go in. A bonnet. I think bonnet's acceptable. 18 profiteroles are made out of shoe pastry. Would preferably like to see the correct spelling there, but will allow any other variations. 19 Coldplay, where a rush of blood to the head, and 20 Ocular Coloboma is a medical condition affecting the eye. Interesting fact. I think that's the condition that affected Madeleine McCann. Yeah, the sort of the bleeding of the eyes. But there we go. Okay, you learn something new every day. Pick and mix football. Sorry, so what are we on? We're on champion golfers of the year for pick and mix. So the last 5 champion golfers of the year Open Championship winners were Royal Portrush was Shane Lowry. At Carnoustie in 2018, it was Francesco Molinari. Jordan Spieth won at Royal Birkdale in 2017. Henrik Stenson won at Royal Troon in 2016 in that epic duel with Phil Mickelson. And Zach Johnson won at St Andrews in 2015. Move on to the capital cities with alternate letters missing. 6 is Amman in Jordan. 7 is Nicosia in Cyprus. 8 is Seoul in South Korea, not North Korea, steady, in South Korea. 9 is Montevideo in Uruguay. And 10 is Lilongwe, which is the toughest one for me, and that is in Malawi. I would imagine that Vicky will have got all 5 of those. Sequences. So these 11, these are Beatles albums. And you should have had Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, Help, Rubber Soul, and Revolver. Revolver was the next. 12, the manager at Manchester United to precede Sir Alex Ferguson was Ron Atkinson. The Monopoly board, I like to test Monopoly. You want King's Cross Station. That's the first station around the board. It's the next one after Income Tax. You should have for 14 Victoria the first. There's only been one. And 15, and just to be clear, they are the monarchs in succession for 14, just in case. And 15, these are husbands of Liz Taylor, and Richard Burton was next in line. I think did she have 7 husbands, and she was married 8 times. Married to one bloke twice, I think, which is an epic effort. Okay, on we go to the the Price is Right, not Play Your Cards Right. The milk. So the milk, folks, 80p for 2 pints of milk. 80p for 2 pints of milk. Next, on to the Andrex. And I don't know whether this has suffered from a supply and demand issue, but 4 rolls of Andrex toilet paper is going to cost you £2.50. I nearly fell over when I saw it. Nearly fell over. Costco's where you want to be, folks. Other wholesalers are available. Bacon. The bacon's next. So the bacon was £1.95. £1.95 for the bacon. The Fairy Liquid, £1.80, and of course the bread then takes the £1.05 bread. On to the children's characters. Number 21, my absolute favourite, Mr. Ben. So that's Mr. Ben. 22 is Squidward. I'm told by Michael Beach to pronounce that Squidward. Terrible, just terrible. Next, Chuckle Vision, of course, and that's Paul Chuckle. That's Paul Chuckle. Hello. No, that's not Barry. That's Paul Chuckle. Hello. We all know it. Okay, 24 is George Jetson. That's George Jetson. 25, and well done to anybody who got both of these. It's Daphne Blake. Daphne Blake. Very nice. Okay, and then the dingbats to finish. So 26, cut corners or cutting corners, either's fine. 27 is the Iron Curtain, Fe being the chemical symbol for iron, drapes, self-explanatory. The next is Blue Blood, 28 is Blue Blood. 29 is Inside Man, Inside Gent there, and then 30 is Altar Boys. Altar Boys for 30. Steady. We don't do religion on this particular thing. Okay, so that's the first 2 rounds. Let's quickly get into Millionaire. Let's move this thing along. So if we can all, are we doing the demo on screen, Steve? Are we doing the demo on screen for what people need to do? Bear with us, folks, because we're going to have to just quickly run through the admin for anybody who wasn't playing last week. So just to be clear, there is a bit of an administrative burden on you guys at home here. As you sort of need to answer a separate sheet for each one so that we can sort of see who's doing well as we go along. So round 3, here it is. Is it live there, Beachy? Okay, so you'll come to here, and what I suggest you do, folks, is the first time that you put your name in, just copy the name, and that makes it easier then when it comes to answering the next question. You can just paste your name in. So it's a case of putting your name in and then selecting the question we're on, and then selecting or making your selection. You hit submit, you'll come to this screen, and then essentially you just want to click the link to go back, and you'll sort of be refreshed at that same page again. So there you go. And you'll come back to here. You'll essentially put your team name in because you've copied and pasted it. Select question 2, question 3, whatever we're on, and make your selection. Relatively straightforward. So the way we're going to work it, folks. So the way we're going to work it, folks, is as we did last week. We're going to answer 5 questions, and then we'll go through them. We'll do the next 5, and then we'll go through them, and then we'll see how we're doing for time ahead of the final stages. Whether we want to go question by question or we just do 5 again. This is tough this tonight, I think. So just to be clear, the first 5 questions are worth 1 point. The second 5 questions are worth 2 points, and the third 5 questions are worth 3 points. However, we'll run a side to the competition to see who can get furthest towards that £1 million prize. Steve, are you ready in the background? Okay, folks. Nice and quick, folks. If you can be really nice and quick at home, it makes it a lot easier. And we can scurry through these and try and build the drama at the end. Okay. So let's play. Without further ado, let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? Very nice. Okay. Question 1, folks, for £100 and 1 point on tonight's quiz. In children's stories, how many wishes are traditionally granted by a genie or fairy? Is it A1, B2, C3, or D4? That's in children's stories, how many wishes are traditionally granted by a genie or fairy? If we can get your answer locked in and submitted, please. It's A1, B2, C3, and D4. Okay, we can move to 2, can we, Beachy? Okay, number 2. Question 2. For £200 and for 2 points in tonight, for 1 point in tonight's quiz. Let's not get ahead of ourselves now. Which phrase refers to a discussion about work outside of working hours? A, talking factory, B, talking store, C, talking shop, or D, talking mill? So that's question 2, £200 and another point in tonight's quiz. The kahuna going down exceptionally now. Okay, we should all be reasonably comfortable and fly through these. Move to 3, Beachy. Okay, 3. This is for £300 and a point on tonight's quiz. What is the colour of the front door of number 10 Downing Street? Is it A, red, B, blue, C, yellow, or D, black? So that's question 3. What is the colour of the front door of number 10 Downing Street? Is it A, red, B, blue, C, yellow, or D, black? Again, that's for £300 and another point in tonight's quiz. Let's get those submitted, folks. Let's rattle through these early ones. The ones that really no lifelines should be. Let's give Michael a bit of work to do in the back end. Michael, I assume we can go to 4. Okay, 4. So this is for £500 and a point in tonight's quiz. Complete David Dickinson's favourite catchphrase, or famous catchphrase. Cheap as A, cheddar, B, chowder, C, chips, or D, chili. That's I'm back. You're not going to shake my hand. Okay, what is the first word in the phonetic alphabet? Is it A, apple, B, alpha, C, armadillo, or D, Amazon? So we can get those submitted now, and then we can. Let's try it. You better there, Steve? Okay. Feel as though the battery might have been draining there, folks. We're back in business. Okay, are we all submitted? Are we all submitted, Victory? 5. Okay, shall we run through? Shall we run through the answers then? So, question 1 on the Millionaire Round, in the middle of the drama that happened. Okay, in how many wishes has the dish been granted by a genie or a fairy? A1, B2, C3, or D4? Computer, review your response. There we go, 3. So we're all safely through, surely. Question 2. Which phrase refers to a discussion about work outside of working hours? Is it A, talking factory, B, talking store, C, talking shop, or D, talking mill? Steve, can we reveal the correct answer for question number 2, please? There we are, talking shop. Number 3, what is the colour of the front door of number 10 Downing Street? Is it A, red, B, blue, C, yellow, or D, black? Computer, reveal the correct answer. There we go. Okay, 4. Complete David Dickinson's famous catchphrase. Cheap as A, cheddar, B, chowder, C, chips, or D, chili. Computer again, if you can reveal the correct answer. There we go. And 5. What is the first word in the phonetic alphabet? A, apple, B, alpha, C, armadillo, D, Amazon. Steve, computer, go ahead. Okay. So I assume we're all 5 points, £1,000. Time, folks, now to separate the wheat from the chaff. So question 6 is worth £2,000 and 2 points in tonight's quiz. Which girl's name is the title of a song on the Beatles album Rubber Soul? Now, we saw that before, didn't we, Rubber Soul? A, Mandy, B, Michelle, C, Madeline, or D, Marianne. So that's question 6. Which girl's name is the title of a song on the Beatles album Rubber Soul? A, Mandy, B, Michelle, C, Madeline, or D, Marianne? You can submit those answers now. Okay, are we all locked in there, Beachy? Okay, let's move forward to 7 then. So this is for £4,000 and 2 points in tonight's quiz. In 1581, Sir Francis Drake became mayor of which city? A, Hull, B, Glasgow, C, Plymouth, or D, Bristol? That's question 7 for £4,000 and for 2 points in tonight's quiz. In 1581, Sir Francis Drake became mayor of which city? A, Hull, B, Glasgow, C, Plymouth, or D, Bristol? Let's get those answers locked in nicely now. And just to be clear, this is an actual millionaire game that has happened. So I have some sympathy thinking that for £4,000, that's a little bit of a toughie. Beachy, how are we looking? Okay, question 8. The Walrus and the Carpenter is a well-known verse in which children's novel? A, Swallows and Amazons, B, The Hobbit, C, Through the Looking Glass, or D, Stig of the Dump? Now, appreciate that for many people, Stig of the Dump was probably sat right in front of you this evening. So that's question 8 for £8,000 and 2 points in tonight's quiz. The Walrus and the Carpenter is a well-known verse in which children's novel? A, Swallows and Amazons, B, The Hobbit, C, Through the Looking Glass, or D, Stig of the Dump, aka Stephen Fielding? Move on, Beachy. That was 8. Okay, 1 second first, we can get those submitted. And apologies for the next one, folks. Okay, number 9, for £16,000 for 2 points in tonight's quiz. In heraldry, a lion standing on 1 or 2 hind legs with one foreleg raised above the other is described as what? A, dormant, B, passant, C, couchant, or D, rampant? Is that actually counting? I have no idea. It's up here. We're all lines. So question 9, folks. In heraldry, a lion standing on two hind legs with one foreleg raised above the other is described as what? Let's get those submitted. Apologies for the line. Could happen at any time. Okay, how are we looking, Beachy? Almost there. Okay, question 10. £32,000 after 2 points in tonight's quiz. What is the name? Oh, no, we've changed this. In which country is Farsi the official language? Is it A, Switzerland? Sorry, I'm jesting with myself. Is it A, Indonesia, B, Iran, C, Albania, or D, Iraq? So that's question 10. In which country is Farsi the official language? Is it A, Indonesia, B, Iran, C, Albania, or D, Iraq? I can confirm to James that I'm not in a hurry because I'm expecting some sort of visit from a probation officer. No hurry at all, actually, Dad. Okay, Beachy, are we all in? Okay, so we're going to go through these 5 in a moment, and then we'll get on to the last 5. We'll probably do the same format, I think, given the connection volatility that we're experiencing this evening. Are we ready, Steve? Okay, so question 6, folks, was for £2,000 and 2 points in tonight's quiz. It was which girl's name is the title of a song on the Beatles album Rubber Soul? A, Mandy, B, Michelle, C, Madeline, or D, Marianne? I'm going to lock the computer. Okay, and computer, can you reveal the correct answer? Lovely stuff. Yeah, the drama. Oh god. Easy to see how Chris Tarrant didn't see the major cheating right in front of his eyes. Okay, question 7. £4,000, 2 points in tonight's quiz. In 1581, Sir Francis Drake became mayor of which city? Hull, Glasgow, Plymouth, or Bristol? Let's lock the computer, Steve, and let's reveal the correct answer. There it is, Plymouth. Wouldn't have got it. I think I'd be out by now, you know. Okay, question 8. £8,000, and for 2 points in tonight's quiz. The Walrus and the Carpenter is a well-known verse in which children's novel? Swallows and Amazons, The Hobbit, Through the Looking Glass, or Stig of the Dumb? Let's lock the computer. And if we can reveal the correct answer, please. There it is. Okay, on to 9. In heraldry, £16,000 and 2 points. A lion standing on 1 or 2 hind legs with one foreleg raised above the other is described as what? Dormant, passant, couchant, or rampant? Let's lock that in. Okay, and if we can reveal the correct answer, please. Okay, and 10. Let's see who's made it up to the £32,000 mark. In which country Is Farsi the official language? Indonesia, Iran, Albania, or Iraq? Let's lock that in. If you'd have said, let's not get into that. Okay, Steve, let's reveal. There it is, Iran. For 2 points and progression in the millionaire quiz. So, Beachy, do we have anybody left in the actual the million? Oh, we've got quite a few left in by what Beachy's telling me. Okay, lovely. Let's move on to 11 then, Steve. So we're going to do these 5 in a segment again, I think, and then we'll reveal the final answers and wrap up the quiz. So, question 11, £64,000 for 3 points in tonight's quiz. In Welsh place names, what does Afon mean? Is it A, fort, B, meadow, C, pool, or D, river? So that's question 11. £64,000 and 3 points in tonight's quiz. In Welsh place names, what does Afon mean? Fort, meadow, pool, or river? Let's get those locked in. A little bit of extra time here to ponder this particular. I would imagine that John Davis will be doing okay with this one at home. The Ashworth drone is still in. They're still in. They're still doing well. Benny and Surrett's still in. Okay, it looks like we've almost got a dozen teams still in. Okay, let's move to 12, shall we, Beachy? Is that okay? Okay, 12. Which king wrote a famous denunciation of smoking? So this is for £125,000 and 3 points in tonight's quiz. And we'll get to whose game it was in a moment. Let's hold our horses. We don't want anybody Googling at any stage. So A, Richard I, B, William I, C, George I, or D, James I. Okay, no problem. So that was 12 votes, 125,000 for 3 points in tonight's quiz. Which king wrote a famous denunciation of smoking? Richard I, William I, George I, or James I? That is seriously separating the wheat from the chaff. Okay, are we going to 13, Beachy? Okay, for £250,000 for 3 points in tonight's quiz. What is the female equivalent of the Oedipus complex? And who knows how you say that? How do you even say that? So, what is the female equivalent of the Oedipus complex? I'm being told. Okay, A, Electra complex, B, Athena complex, C, Diana complex, or D, Pandora complex. Would love to give you some sort of background info there, folks, but I've no idea what it is. I have no idea what it does. And to be honest, I'm not sure I've got the appetite to go and find out either. Okay, can we move forward, Beachy? Oh, I think I've gone again. Oh, am I back? Oh, I'm fine, I'm back. Okay, are we ready to go on again, Beachy? Okay, 14, folks, for £500,000. £500,000 in tonight's quiz, and for 3 points, more crucially. So 14. Which of these creatures is most associated with the naturalist and artist John James Audubon? Audubon. Listen, the pronunciations tonight are tough. A, beetles, B, butterflies, C, birds, or D, bats. So which of these creatures, 14 for £500,000, is most associated with the naturalist and artist John James Audubon? A, beetles, C, butterflies. Sorry, beetles. So I'm getting stick in the back end here for my pronunciation there, which is absolutely atrocious. B, butterflies, C, birds, or D, bats. All vote now, folks, and we can get through this. And then we're on for the £1 million question. Okay, Beachy, are we ready to go, Beachy? Okay. So, folks, I'm pleased to say that when I actually did the research, I actually got this. I was absolutely chuffed with myself. So here we go. 15 for £1 million and 3 points in tonight's quiz. Which of these is not one of the American Triple Crown horse races? Is it A, the Arlington Million, B, the Belmont Stakes, C, the Kentucky Derby, or D, the Preakness Stakes? That is very, very smooth in the back end there, Stephen. I've seen what you've. I've had a look what you've done there. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, that's 15 for £1 million, folks, and 3 points in tonight's quiz. Which of these is not one of the American Triple Crown horse races? A, the Arlington Million, B, the Belmont Stakes, C, the Kentucky Derby, or D, the Preakness Stakes? So we're there, folks. We're there or thereabouts. I mean, tough millionaire tonight. I think very, very tough. Although at least a dozen teams seem to have breezed through the first 10. If we can get those submitted, we'll go through the answers, and then we'll sign off for the evening. Beachy, how are we looking on submissions? Almost there, I think, folks, in the back end. If we can get those last submissions, and then we can get through these last 5 answers. Okay, I think we're almost there. 10 more seconds and I'm going to cut it off and we'll move on. Okay, we ready, Beachy? I think so. Okay, let's go back then, Stephen, to question 11. Which was £64,000 and for 3 points in tonight's quiz. In Welsh place names, what does Afon mean? A, fort, B, meadow, C, pool, or D, river? Let's lock that in. And computer, can we have the correct answer? There it is. A river. A river. A river. Very nice. Okay. Not sure I don't know if you know how many are still in, Beachy. But 12. Which king wrote a famous denunciation of smoking? This was question 12 for £125,000 and 3 points. Richard I, William I, George I, or James I? I'll lock the computer. Always annoying when Chris Tarrant sort of went to a break here, wasn't it? Always annoying. Okay, Stephen, can we reveal the correct answer? There it is, James I. I reckon Dad will have got that. I think Dad will still be in. Okay, 13. It was for £250,000. And by the way, folks, this particular set of questions, I have ordered a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire book so we can possibly use some of the questions. This was Pat Gibson's game, and Pat Gibson being one of the eggheads, the Irish bloke. 13. What is the female equivalent of the Oedipus complex? A. Electra, B. Athena, C. Diana, or D. Pandora? If we lock that in, Steve. For £250,000 and 3 points in the quiz. Let's have a look, Steve. Okay, I'll come to that in a moment. 14 is for £500,000. Which of these creatures is most associated with the naturalist and artist John James Audubon, or Audubon? A. Beatles, B. Butterflies, C. Birds, or D. Bats? If we can lock that in for £500,000, please, Steve, and 3 points in the quiz. No coughing, please. Let's have it. Let's have it, Steve. Let's have a computer. What's the correct answer? Okay, there we go. Birds. So, folks, bit of controversy in the background as James Nadger's team had not submitted in time on question 15. They're telling me, are they still in, Beachy? Do you know? So they're still in. So they're still in somehow. And they're playing answer A for £1 million. I've been told that they want to play answer A. So let's have a look at it, Steve. Answer question 15 is which of these is not one of the American Triple Crown horse races? It's A, the Arlington Million, B, the Belmont Stakes, C, the Kentucky Derby, or D, the Preakness Stakes. Now, I think the Dadge & Co wanted to play A, the Arlington Million. But for everybody else at home, Steve, let's lock that in. For £1 million and 3 points in tonight's quiz. Let's have a look. There it is, the Arlington Million. I think that is a relatively new sort of revelation, the Arlington Million. The other three absolute classics. So there you go, folks. That is the Millionaire round. Beachy will beaver on in the background and get those marked overnight, and we will get those out to you tomorrow. So that's it, folks. That brings us to the end. Apologies for we had a couple of technical hitches there in the middle of the Millionaire round, didn't we? I think it's at my end at the front end in terms of connection. So apologies for those. But again, I hope you enjoyed the quiz. So let's see how some of you have done there this evening. A little bit trickier on the Millionaire round, I accept. A little bit of a plug for the credits that are coming up, bit of humorous, particularly towards the end. My favourites of all being Mick Andrew as head of salsa dancing. But as ever, folks, we'll just say, obviously, I think we enjoy putting these together, to be frank, and it's great to see the community at large come together. I hope you've enjoyed it at home to the extent, as per usual, that anybody's in a position to continue to support the club via a donation on the back of the quiz. And then the usual details are on the website. But I think foremost, our priority really is to keep bringing everybody together on a Saturday night. It's great to see people continually tuning in, and I thank you for your continued support. So without further ado, I will sign off. I hope. Before I do sign off, one final plug for the guys at Beartown Brewery. Again, their website it's a nice little browse actually. Plenty to go at on there. Various ales, ranging from light pale to some of the real serious stuff that will put hairs on your chest. So the guys at Beartown, thank you very much for your support. I look forward to your support in future. But other than that, folks, I'm signing off, and I hope that you have a good week. I hope that everybody stays safe. I believe that the sun's going to go in this week. I believe that the weather's going to be pretty crap. So Stay sane, stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you again same time next week. Cheers, folks.